Here is a financial paradox that is probably keeping you up at night. If you look at the raw data, earning $100,000 a year puts you in the top 18% of individual earners in the United States. Technically, mathematically, you are rich. You have made it. But if that's true, why does checking your bank account feel like a punch in the gut? Why does this six-figure milestone, which was once the gold standard of the American dream, now feel like the bare minimum for survival? You did everything right. You got the degree. You got the job. You climbed the ladder. And yet, you are likely living paycheck to paycheck, just with nicer furniture and a higher credit limit. The reason isn't that you're bad with money. It's not because of avocado toast or Netflix subscriptions. The reason is a hidden economic mechanism that I call the success penalty. And understanding it is the only way to stop drowning in a six-figure income. Conventional wisdom, the stuff your parents taught you, says that the solution to financial stress is simply income velocity. Just earn more. If you're struggling at $60,000, getting to $80,000 will fix it. If $80,000 is tight, $100,000 is freedom. I am here to tell you that this is a lie. In the modern economy, earning more money doesn't necessarily fix your financial problems. In fact, for the vast majority of professionals, hitting the $100,000 mark actually accelerates your insolvency. It sounds crazy, I know, but the data shows that as your income rises linearly, your required systemic costs rise exponentially. You aren't stepping onto a podium. You are stepping onto a treadmill that speeds up the faster you run. My name is Fabs, and on this channel, we don't just look at the stock market tickers. We look at the psychology and the broken systems underneath your wallet. Today, I'm going to show you the math behind why $100,000 is the new $40,000, and more importantly, how to opt out of the trap before it crushes you. If you are tired of earning good money but feeling broke, do me a favor and click subscribe. We are building a community of people who are ready to exit the rat race, not just run faster in it. So what is actually happening here? We need to give this phenomenon a name so we can fight it. I call it the golden handcuff velocity. Imagine you are in a boat. When you earn $40,000, you are in a small dinghy. It's cramped, it's uncomfortable, and you feel the waves. You look over and see the people in the yachts, the $100,000 earners, and you think, if I get there, the water can't touch me. But here is the trick of the golden handcuff velocity. When you upgrade to the yacht, you don't just get a bigger boat. You inherit a massive, invisible crew you have to pay. You inherit docking fees. You inherit fuel costs that are 10 times higher. The system is designed so that every dollar of new income you earn is immediately claimed by a new expectation of your social class before it ever hits your savings account. It's not lifestyle creep, it's lifestyle capture. You aren't choosing to spend more. The role you have accepted demands it. Let's look at the hard data, because numbers don't have feelings. If we go back to 1994, the era of friends and cheap gas, earning $100,000 was elite. Adjusted for inflation, $100,000 in 1994 had the purchasing power of roughly $212,000 today. Think about that. If you are earning $100,000 today, and you're wondering why you don't feel like the rich guy from the 90s movies, it's because you are operating with less than half of his economic power. But it gets worse when you look at the big three expenses: housing, education, and healthcare. Since 2000, the Consumer Price Index, CPI, has risen about 80%. That's what the news reports. But the cost of middle-class stability has skyrocketed way past that. Hospital services? Up over 200%. College tuition? Up 170%. Housing in major job markets? In some places, up 300%. So, mathematically, you are bringing a 2024 paycheck to a fight against 1994 expectations, but paying 2030 prices. The math literally does not work. Now, let's flip to the psychology, because this is where the golden handcuff velocity really locks you in. There is a psychological concept called reference group theory. When you were earning $50,000, your reference group was your college buddies or your neighbors in the apartment complex. You felt okay driving a 2015 Honda Civic because everyone else was driving a 2012 Toyota. But the moment you landed the $100,000 job, your reference group shifted. Suddenly, you are in meetings with people who wear $500 watches, not Fitbits. You park next to Teslas and BMWs. You go to lunches where the salad costs $28. Subconsciously, your brain screams, adapt or die. This isn't vanity. It's an evolutionary survival mechanism. We are wired to signal that we belong to the tribe we are in. If you are a senior manager, you cannot signal junior analyst vibes, or you risk losing status. So, you don't buy the Tesla because you want it. You buy it because your identity has been hijacked by your job title. You are paying a status tax just to maintain your position in the hierarchy. This is the part of the video where we usually turn off the brain and say, well, $100,000 is still a lot of money. Is it? Let's break down the invisible poverty of the six-figure dad. Let's take a guy named Mark. Mark is 32, lives in a medium-high cost of living city, like Austin, Denver, or parts of Florida, and just landed a $100,000 job. Gross monthly income, $8,333. Mark feels rich. He orders a round of drinks. But let's look at the invisible mechanism that eats his lunch. 1. Taxes, Fed, state, FICA roughly $2,400 gone. Remaining, $5,933. 2. The responsible trap, 401k. Everyone tells Mark to save 10%. So he locks away $833. Remaining, $5,100. 3. Healthcare/benefits. The premiums for a family, or even a couple. Let's call it $400. Remaining, for $1,700. Okay, Mark has $4,700 in cold hard cash. Still decent, right? 4. Housing. You can't earn $100,000 living in the rural middle of nowhere, because that's not where the jobs are. He needs to be near the city. Average rent or mortgage for a decent two-bedroom, $2,500 is conservative these days. Remaining, $2,200. 5. Student loans. Mark needed a degree to get the $100,000 job. Average payment, $400. Remaining, $1,800. 6. The middle-class car. He commutes. He needs a reliable car. Not a Porsche, just a modern SUV. Payment plus insurance plus gas, $800. Remaining, $1,000. 7. Groceries and life. Have you been to the grocery store lately? For a couple or small family, $800 a month is rice and beans territory. Remaining, $200. $200. That is Mark's actual wealth, $200. And here is the shocking realization moment. 1 blown tire. 1 dental emergency. 1 friend's destination wedding. And Mark is on a credit card. He is earning top-tier income, but he has zero liquidity. He is high income, low net worth. He is technically poorer than a guy earning $50,000 who lives with his parents and drives a paid-off clunker, because the $50,000 guy has options. Mark has none. Mark is trapped in the machinery of his own success. Why is the system set up this way? Why does the economy seem to punish you for succeeding? We need to zoom out. This isn't an accident. Our modern economic engine runs on consumption, not savings. If everyone who earned $100,000 lived like they earned $40,000 and saved the difference, the economy would collapse. The GDP relies on you upgrading your life every time you get a raise. The entire financial infrastructure, credit scores, mortgage approvals, car leases, is designed to maximize your monthly payments, not your net worth. Banks don't look at your balance sheet. They look at your debt-to-income ratio. They are literally calculating, how much monthly cash flow can we siphon off this person before they break? When you get a raise, the banks see and use capacity and swarm you with offers to fill it. This is the service subscription model of life. You don't own your lifestyle, you subscribe to it. You subscribe to the house, mortgage interest. You subscribe to the car, lease/payment. You subscribe to the entertainment. You subscribe to the software to do your job. You are merely a pass-through entity. The money flows from your employer, through your bank account, and to the banks and corporations. You get to hold the money for about 12 hours on payday. That's it. That is why you feel broke. Because you are not the owner of your capital, you are just the pipeline. So, how do we break the golden handcuffs? How do we step off the treadmill? We need a radical reframe. I call this the lean infrastructure model. Most people budget by looking at their income and asking, what can I afford? That is a trap. That question leads to lifestyle capture. The reframe is this. Your fixed costs must be capped at 50% of your previous salary bracket. If you just jumped from $70,000 to $100,000, you do not build a $100,000 life. You maintain a $70,000 life infrastructure. Here is the strategy, and it's counterintuitive, Artificial scarcity. You need to make yourself poor on paper. Automate the invisibles. Before your paycheck hits your checking account, divert that success penalty money into an account you cannot easily touch. Investment accounts, high-yield savings, debt smash funds. The old car rule. Refuse to upgrade the car until your net worth, not your income, doubles. The car is the single biggest wealth destroyer for the middle class. Drive the shameful car. Wear it like a badge of honor. Reject the reference group. This is the hardest part. You have to be willing to be the weird guy at the office. The guy who brings a packed lunch. The guy who says no to the expensive happy hour. You have to realize that looking wealthy is the enemy of being wealthy. If you are spending money to impress people, you are paying them for their opinion. Stop paying them. Their opinion is overpriced. Imagine what happens when you apply the lean infrastructure model for just 24 months. You are still earning $100,000, but your expenses are locked at the $60,000 level. You are now banking $30,000 to $40,000 a year in cold, hard cash and assets. Suddenly, the success penalty vanishes. You walk into work and your boss is annoying? You don't panic. You have walk-away power. You don't need this specific paycheck to pay the mortgage next week. The anxiety in your chest, that tightness you feel on Sunday nights, it starts to dissolve. Not because you have a Ferrari, but because you have margin. You have bought your freedom back from the banks. You can take a risk. You can start that side business. You can take a month off to be with your kids. That is the difference between being a high earner and being wealthy. A high earner is a well-paid servant. A wealthy person is a master of their own time. The $100,000 trap is real. The system is designed to keep you running in place, upgrading your cage, but never finding the key. But now you see the mechanism. You see the treadmill. You have a choice. You can keep running faster, trying to outpace the inflation and the status games. Or you can step off, build a lean infrastructure, and actually keep the wealth you create. If this video sparked something in you, if you had that aha moment about why you feel broke, smash that like button. It helps get this message to other people who are drowning in debt while looking rich. And let me know in the comments, what is the one status upgrade you regret buying the most? Was it the car? The house? Let's talk about it. I'm Fabs. Stop acting rich so you can finally get rich. I'll see you in the next one.